We have investments going into all of our science labs right now. So we have multi-million-dollar lab project for our allied health sciences, multi-million-dollar project for our natural science lab. So you're going to see a campus that's continuing to grow, continuing to transform. And we're a little sensitive about this down in Southern Ohio. We want our students to have access to the very best facilities, just like any other student would at any other university in any big city.
Welcome, everyone, to Coffee with the President. It is good to be here. We're here at Shawnee State University, and President Braun, this is awesome. Thank you for having us on campus, first of all. This is really going to be an awesome episode.
Great to have you here, Alex. Ready to roll?
Ready to roll. I love it. I think the first place I want to go with this interview is the fact that you grew up in this region. And, going off and then coming back here with, everything you've learned and accomplished in your career, that's special. And you don't hear that every day. And I think that I'd love for you to just talk about what does it mean coming back, back to this region and what you're trying to do with this institution and push it forward.
Sure thing. Well, 8th generation, Scioto County, so born and raised in this region. And like a lot of people, as soon as I finished high school, I got out of here and went as far away as I possibly could. Yeah. And learned a lot of things, made a lot of connections, and the best thing I could do is bring it back. You find in Appalachia, there's this calling to come home, and I certainly experienced that myself. So, to be able to come back to the university, I've been here over 15 years now. Like you said, bring some of that, wisdom, experience, and network back, but there's just tremendous opportunity here in this region, and I think what I've realized is how important the university is to this region, just how many resources there are. It's not just about college access, although that's a huge part of it, but there's so much wisdom and talent and network of people who want to do good work. So we're thrilled to be in the region, and every day I wake up really trying to contribute and do those things that all the generations before me built when they put this place together, and we've got a lot of work to do. So it's exciting every day.
Yeah, and I know we'll have a little bit of this in the episode, but you see the signs on campus for innovate, like entrepreneurship is a big thing for you, and like what are the needs outside these doors. Yep. And I'd love you to talk about that.
Sure.
It's exciting what you brought, like that entrepreneurship spirit, but also knowing how that's going to help these students in the next chapter.
Yeah, well, I come from a long line of folks who've built businesses, and that's sort of inherent in the Appalachian way, is that self-sufficiency, that bootstrapping.
I love it.
That is the new economy. So we talk about innovation, collaboration, and learning. Innovations.
You see those signs.
The signs are everywhere. Yes. we love the banners and the messages.
It's good. You got drive it.
We're at this inflection point where technology is changing everything, and so with innovation, we want to be at the forefront of defining what that looks like for us. Mm-hmm. Let's not let the innovation and other people define technology that we're going to have to live by. Let's be part of defining what that technology is, and collaboration is all about just keeping the humanity. As technology and machines become bigger and bigger part of our lives, we've got to keep those connections. We've seen what social media has done, a lot of good, a lot of not so good, and at the end of the day, we've got to keep that humanity in our lives. So that's the collaboration, and then the learning is just keep doing it, keep building on what you know, and if you're not learning every day, you're leaving something behind. So great place to open those doors, and we've got a really vibrant campus culture with our faculty and students who live that every day.
Yeah, I'd love you to talk about the students. They're special. We're excited to be featuring a number of them in the episode. But we, by the way, when we're looking at, actually, you can see it behind us. This is a great setup of an office. Yes. It's really cool.
Best office on campus.
It is beautiful. But when you're sitting here and you're watching students go by, and what fires you up to come here every day? What are you most excited about for them? And I mean, it's special.
Well, it's funny you say that, because when I look out my window here, I do see students. They're moving from the parking lots to the buildings, and every day, about every hour, you get to see this mass of students moving. And what I see is motivation and purpose. These students are here for a reason. They've got a lot of choices, and a lot of these students, they can go to Columbus and Cincinnati and Chicago and Atlanta, but many of them want to stay here in Ohio. They want to stay in Southern Ohio. And they want to work and contribute. They want to not just build careers, but build families. And so, yeah, you'll see students moving with purpose here on campus, and it's a thrill to see every day.
That's a great way. We were talking before we started clicking record here, some of the new buildings and the future here. I'd love you to kind of, when you look at the next like 5 years, what does that look like?
Well, we are in what we'll call a growth phase. We have programs really that we put some very intentional investments in, because you hear all the time that college degrees kind of losing value. That's not what employers are saying to me.
Can I tell you how ridiculous that is? It's ridiculous. It's like, go to the business labor statistics.
Yes.
For every piece of education you get, started in high school and college. So that narrative, I'm sorry, I have to pause, because it is every once in a while, especially being the host of the college tour. I hear this and it's like, the people are saying, it's like, your kids go to college, but they did. When we talk to employers, it's makes no sense at all.
Yeah, you see employers that are having to look for alternatives because there aren't enough college graduates out there. That's the reality, and that's what we hear. So we need more in the pipeline and more students in the system who are moving through. So no, we're trying to build programs that meet the employers' needs throughout the state of Ohio, throughout the region, and throughout the country, really. So we're putting Advanced Manufacturing Center online next year. We've got a top-ranked engineering technology program. We of course have a game design program that is internationally recognized and number 1 in Ohio, number 2 in the Midwest. So we're making investments in our esports and gamer arena and our gaming labs. We have investments going into all of our science labs right now. So we have multi-million-dollar lab project for our allied health sciences, multi-million-dollar project for our natural science lab. So you're going to see a campus that's continuing to grow, continuing to transform. And we're a little sensitive about this down in Southern Ohio. We want our students to have access to the very best facilities, just like any other student would at any other university in any big city or any private school campus. So we talk a lot about our size and our experience. We want to deliver a private school experience at a public school price, and we think we're doing a nice job with that, but facilities are a big piece of it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really amazing here, and you're seeing it and you're feeling it on campus. But when I was stalking you prior to this interview and learning back, but like the amount of work you've done with legislative and connecting with both on a local, regional, and state and national level, it's pretty impressive. Did that just naturally happen, or we just?
It's let's put it this way. There's naturally a lot of interest in what we're doing here on campus. So real easy to make connections. I stalked you a little bit when we got together. But yeah, the state's interested in moving this region forward. Certainly this is a key part of the United States. There's a lot of Rust Belt history here. Mm-hmm. There's been a tremendous amount of change over the last 40 or 50 years. And, the truth is, the steel mill closed before I was born at this point. So, we still talk a lot about that legacy. It's very important to our history, but we've got to define where we're going to be in the next 50 years. And so, yeah, legislators across the state and across the country are very interested in what we can do to move this region forward. We got a lot of support.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, we'll wrap this up. Final question. And our crew has been talking all week while we've been on campus going around filming. I'd love you to, talk about this. There is such a sense of community. Is that because of the community? And by the way, I drove in yesterday from Columbus, coming in from LA, and it's a beautiful drive in. And when you come into the area, you feel it. I was out to dinner. We were talking about the restaurant before I clicked record here. The restaurant I was out last night. So I'd love you to talk about what is it that makes this community so special?
Sure. Well,
or that feeling of just community. Yeah, that doesn't happen all the time either.
It doesn't. And it's a cliche to say the people, but the truth is people are in this community because they want to be in this community. And, we find that a lot of students and families select the university because of its small size, faculty-student ratio is low, but also those relationships are authentic. And you feel that on campus, you feel it in the community. I'm glad you've already felt it, today. That's real. And that's something that I'd love to say we're responsible for, but I think that we're more a product of our community here at Shawnee State. And it's a great feeling to wake up to every day.
Yeah. Well, Professor Braun, thank you so much for sitting down, having a cup of coffee.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait for you all. If you haven't watched the episode, make sure to watch the episode. This was awesome. Really appreciate you taking time. And most importantly, opening the doors to the college tour for us to do an episode here.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time, everyone. Take care.